last week that Daniel Kinahan,
Yep.
by the US government, somebody you've worked with. I just want to get your thoughts on when you saw that.
Sorry, I didn't hear any of that. Someone butted in.
Daniel Kinahan, just your thoughts when you saw that.
Yeah, again, I've said this to quite a few people this week. I don't get involved in other people's businesses, and I keep mine to myself, and that's it. What other people do in their lives, I've got my own troubles and my own problems to work on myself with a wife and 6 kids, so I keep my business to myself.
Still be working together?
Sorry? The man's been a boxing fan. Not much more I can say. There's not much more of a relationship. There is none. Sorry? That's none of your business and none of anybody else's business, I don't think, is it? You know, it's my business is my business, your business is yours, and that's it.
You're not worried it's kind of overshadowing society?
Like I say, it's got nothing to do with me in boxing. I'm just a stupid boxer who gets punched in the face for a living. Because if I wasn't, I wouldn't be here, would I? Any more?
What's good, family? Shout out to my doggy, Devil Dog 83, for boosting up your man the YB dire coin situation. So we just heard there from your mans, Tyson, Fury, breaking his silence on the Daniel L. Kinahan debacle. Now I can't lie to you, this was really the best way of handling it, and I'm surprised it's taken this long for someone to clearly. Bottom line is, clearly someone hadn't been briefed. I don't care what no one says. Yeah, we had the whole White versus Fury Zoom press conference, and no one didn't say nada. And that was when the news was breaking. And then this whole presser or whole open workout thing, no one until the very end. This was one of the last kind of scrums. All of the individual interviews with Shill FL TV and Boxing Shilsel, all them different shill channels didn't say nada. So whoever that Don was, I'm not sure who it was, but whatever Don actually had the nuts to drop the question, I respect that. Because to be honest with you, hearing Fury's reaction, I'm not sure why. I think Fury should have come out off the rip on the Zoom press conference, because the whole shutting it down and kind of telling people not to ask just made it more weird, if that makes sense. It built the anticipation. Hearing Fury's response, I mean, why not? He should have come out off the rip and said, listen, boom, in my opinion. Now, let's go through what he actually said, how the questions came about and what Fury's responses were, because I had to really listen in closely and send this clip off to my government contacts to get this audio enhanced, because you best believe the audio was a bit leave it. So off the rip, the questioning starts with, the man says to him, what are your thoughts on Daniel Kinahan's recent news of being investigated by the feds? Fury responds and says, I don't get involved in other people's business, I've got 6 kids and I've got my own troubles. Then another interviewer, I believe, doubles down and says, can you describe the relationship between you and Dan? Fury says, he's a boxing fan and that's pretty much it. There is no relationship. At which point, another Don, or maybe the same Don, capitalizes on Fury saying there is no relationship and says, well, are you saying the relationship's over? At which point, Fury snaps and says, it's not your business. My business is my business. If it's not your business, keep your nose out, kind of thing. And then Fury goes on to say, Dan's got nothing to do with me. I'm just a stupid boxer who gets punched in the head for a living. Now, what I will say is, if you look at all of Fury's controversies over the recent history, i.e., for example, when Shilligan Cassius questioned Tyson Fury on his charity BS. When Tyson Fury, basically, if you man don't know, a few years ago, Tyson Fury said he was going to give all of his money to charity, all of his purse for a Wilder fight. That went, obviously Fury didn't do that anyway. Recently, Shilligan Cassius built up the courage after being pressured by Eddie Hearn to question Fury on it, and Fury responded and said, that's none of your business. So, the reason I bring that up is to say there's clearly a building kind of what's the word? This is what Fury does when the questioning is uncomfortable. Bottom line. And this implies that his answers weren't. His answers were, what's the word, deceptive to some extent. Saying there is no relationship when we've seen you flying out to Dubai and walking with him, talking with him, taking pictures with him. That made me even more interested, if you get what I'm saying. Now, from a law enforcement point of view, when the feds know that you've been spending considerable time with someone, and they question you, and you answer by saying, "Oh, we don't have a relationship," that gets the feds' wicks rock hard, because they think, why the deception? For example, I think Fury would have been better off saying, "Yeah, me and Dan are friends. He hasn't been convicted," and simple as that. Oops. Yeah. Rather than say, "Oh, there is no relationship." It's like, well, we all know there is. So why the deception? And I also think potentially, from a law enforcement point of view, the fact Fury is saying or going out of his way to imply that, "Oh, I'm a stupid boxer. I haven't got a clue what's going on." Is that there potentially a defence strategy? "Oh, I didn't know that there was $50 million laundering through my account. I'm just a stupid boxer." Do you know what I'm saying? Is it one of them ones? Has Fury been on the phone to his lawyer saying, "What are we going to do? How are we going to explain this?" And, "Oh, well, you're just telling me you're a stupid boxer. And you MC, you don't know nothing going on. And you're not in control." Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Is that foreshadowing? We don't know. But like I said before, the way Bob Arum has distanced himself and sold out Daniel. And don't forget, people, allegedly Kinahan runs a $1 billion trap. That's a lot of money. And the way these rats are jumping off the ship. For example, I haven't done a video on it, but the MTK CEO has stepped down today as well. So my point is, people, there's a lot of things going on. There's nothing directly, but there's a lot of things going on which show a lot of bums flapping. Do you understand? This is what you call squeaky. This is what you call squeaky bum time. Yeah? So I'm putting all the little squeaky bum parts together, and this is, for me, is one of them ones as well. But do I think... We just don't know at this point. You don't know who's doing what and who's involved with what. But we do know, categorically, there have been in the past other boxers in the past involved with MTK or Kinahan have been convicted of money laundering. That's just a fact. Categorically. Yeah? Boxers... World-class level boxers have been convicted of money laundering associated with MTK and or Kinahan. That's a fact. Oops. Yeah? And we also know as a fact... Now, I don't know the intricacies of it, obviously, but the other thing we know is that Fury and Kinahan have been in... It was only last month I did a video on it. Yeah? Before Dillian White signed the contract, Fury was out there chilling with Kinahan, ready to put the call in to White and get White touched. And White got touched, 100%. Or sorry, White's lawyer got touched. Yeah? That's what happened, 100%. We know that now for a fact. White's lawyer got touched and White's lawyer became an inside man for Team Fury. That's why he started doing all these dopey things. Yeah? Because then on the back end, when Frank Warren and Team Fury sued Dillian White, they've got him guts for gutter because of the things he's done, i.e. signing the contract and then not going through with things, etc, etc. But anyway, back to the point. The point is, I'm glad Fury's addressed it now. His answers are a bit leave it, in my opinion. It leads on for more questioning, or it makes you think more, potentially things, there may be something going on there, especially when you consider the points I've already mentioned. Now, really, all we can do at this point anyway is just sit back in the cut and see how things play out. Nothing's going to happen before Saturday. We're going to get the fight. But the last thing I will say is, one thing that did also get my mind thinking, in this same interview, Fury said, someone said to Fury, what's going on? After this questioning, yeah, so after he was questioned on this Kinahan thing, someone mentioned about the AJ versus Usyk fight. And Fury replied and said, listen, I don't care about Fury, I don't care about Usyk and AJ, because after this fight, I am retiring. Now, to be fair to Fury, he has been saying this a few times before, And even in this particular fight build-up, he said it. But of all the times I've heard Fury say it, this felt almost like, and also bearing in mind, people, the wider consideration here. I mean, think about it. If you've been involved in things, why wouldn't this be the last one? You'd say, shit, the feds are on my heels. I'm getting out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'm cutting whilst on my head, or I'm gonna attempt to cut whilst on my head. I don't know. We don't know. I'm just speculating. But I found it odd how we hadn't heard, or at least today, of all the questions, I hadn't heard Fury mention retirement until this round of questioning. It's almost like, well, you know what I'm saying? I don't know whether it's linked or not, but I'm just saying, bear that in mind. Yeah? And what I will say is, if Fury does go on to strongly retire after this, that'll be a bad look. As in, well, not bad look, but that'll, in my opinion, have some implications. Or it will imply at least there was some involvement. Because there's no way. Why would you want to leave that AJ bag on the table? Go and fill the big stiff bodybuilder in for free, for some free coin. I don't know. Yeah? But it's interesting anyway. Let's see how it plays out. First things first, let's get Shillian Shite's wig pushed in nicely for him. Yeah, let's tuck Shillian Shite in for him. No doubt about it, 100%.